Hello, everybody. I'm Marcelo Bqaueroalvarez, and this is Info in Context. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to be talking about what is the Info in Context project and the reason why it was developed. The Info in Context project was developed in order to defeat authoritarian propaganda around the world and in the United States of America. And I know what you might be thinking. What do you mean about authoritarian propaganda in the USA? Is that even possible? And the answer is yes. It has been going on for several decades, but a lot of people are not going to notice it because propaganda is designed to fly under the radar and to normalize some of the craziness that has been going on for a long time. Now, the problem is that authoritarianism and propaganda have been normalized to the point that they're galvanizing, and we are actually running out of time. Yes, other countries already have fallen victims into that reality, but they didn't realize it until it was too late. When you log in into the website www.infoincontext.com, then you're going to see how we developed the site in a way to help you understand and defeat propaganda. On the homepage of the site, and you're going to see a few concepts, and then you're also going to have a few resources. These are official resources. A lot of times, whoever is pushing propaganda onto you, they're just going to give you certain cliff notes, but they are not going to give you the actual context. When you have context, then you get to understand if something is real or if something is false, and then you might be able to ascertain why whoever is giving you this false information is sending you this false information. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that later on in this video. When you go into the site, you're going to see this section that's called flashpoints. What does that mean? Well, propagandists, they know that if they get you angry, you're going to lose rationality, and that is human nature. This site is not about if you're on the left or the right side of the spectrum. It doesn't even matter. A propagandist really doesn't care what is your political leanings or what are your virtues or your religious convictions. It doesn't matter. That is relevant to them. What they really care is, do you have a bias and can they exploit that bias? So the flashpoints, they are these normally controversial types of information that people are talking in the national discourse, and they're designed to polarize you. They're designed to get you angry. In propaganda, they're going to be throwing all kinds of things at you. Some of those things are going to land, some are just going to miss. Depends on the person. If for some reason some of this information actually lands and resonates with you, then they're going to send you a lot more information that is akin to that, so they can get you more prepped and more spun up. And it works. They're going to also do that around other people who might be feeling the same way. That's what it's called the echo chamber. Essentially, they're going to be pushing that information, even if it is not real. It might have a little bit of truth, but it's going to be flooding the area with a lot of falsehoods in order to get you angrier and create more tension. Now, what's going to happen is that it's not only intended to get people who they want to play on their team to get angry. They also want the other people who disagree with that to get really angry, to create a division. So propagandists are going to be targeting people who agree with them, but they're also going to be targeting people who disagree with them. In other words, what they want to create this division. They want to push us from one side to the other. And it works because whenever people are polarized, then either there's going to be a certain level of frustration when they just either going to say, well, I'm not even going to be talking to this other person at all. And then when that happens, the adversarial forces and the propagandists, they win. That's exactly what they want. Now, a lot of these flashpoints, they can actually be worthy of debate. So it can actually be an important topic that is worth of discussion. But the thing is that we are actually more similar than different. That is not convenient for an authoritarian propagandist. They want us to fight. They want us to get angry. The next section is about the red flags. And the red flags, these are indicators that are likely going to be showing that a person that is seeking power will be an authoritarian. Now, the red flags can actually be utilized as a tool for projection. What does that mean? That means that they could have somebody that is skewing the facts to try to ping those idiosyncrasies onto the opposition, even if the opposition doesn't have those points or they don't really have those idiosyncrasies. But it's more important for the base to believe that they do. In that way, they become blind to those red flags on their own ranks. And it works. It's been used in propaganda for a very, very long time. So the point about propaganda is to confuse opinions with facts or try to put them both in the same category, and that's not the case. An opinion could be erroneous because it's subject to a lot of potential faulty information. But a fact is logical, measurable, and demonstrable. So that means that even if you don't agree with a fact, well, a fact it is what it is, even if you don't like it. But when you equate it with opinions, then it's a lot easier to start mudding up the waters and changing the narrative into something that is going to be more convenient for a propagandist. And that's something that I want to emphasize. The Info in Context website is not a left or right type website. This is designed to unite us as a country. That is what it is about, all Americans. So even if you lean to the right or to the left, it's fine because we can have those debates, we can have those discussions. But propagandists, they want us to give up on each other. As I told you before, the authoritarians, they are going to be exploiting your biases. We all have biases, every last one of us. We all have a bias. And a bias is a predisposed condition to be for or against something. And that would beg the question, so how do I actually know who to believe? And well, I have good news because I added a list of, in no particular order, of a lot of people who create content that are saying what is factual. That doesn't mean if you agree or disagree. Some are political, some are comedians, some are scientists. There's a whole slew of people. And the reason for that is because that is actually going to give you a different perspective that perhaps you have not been able to see in your bubble. When you see this new perspective, that hopefully is also going to help the algorithm bring you more information that is akin to that so you can actually start doing your independent research. And that is one of the things that actually happens with social media is that a lot of times you don't really have a choice as far as what is it that you're consuming because they are just going to start sending you whatever is it that you are just kind of falling into whatever narrative, and that creates a communication breakdown. So this is what this does for you. The other thing that it gives you is an opportunity to visit their content or to follow them or to look at their social media. And even if you disagree with them, that's fine. One of the things that we have for that, that's why we created a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is to create a conversation. So I add a lot of the images that I would be putting. They have more context down there as a column, so you can read it and have as a conversation starter. And yes, sometimes you're going to be disagreeing with some of the points of view, no matter if you're on the right or the left. But those are the facts. And as I say, facts, they don't care about your feelings. Facts are what they are. The Instagram is actually designed for us to fall in love again with America. America is a wonderful, beautiful country, and America is already great. But a lot of people, they want you to believe that it's not, that we're more different than similar. Our diversity is our strength. We are one united America. And that is an important thing that we have to remember. I've also created a Twitter X page, and of course, that is probably going to be contentious, but that's the way that is. But hopefully, it is also going to give us a chance to have those conversations. And of course, this YouTube page now, I'm not a YouTuber and I don't claim to be one. I'm actually starting this thing because, quite frankly, I feel like I've been screaming into a void, and this is my last ditch effort to hopefully do something before it's too late, so at least it's going to be documented that I'm actually trying. So please like and subscribe and ring the little bell and all the good stuff. So we'll be adding a lot more content here that is designed specifically for you to understand how authoritarianism and how propaganda has been taking a foothold into the world. We're trying to save lives. I know that might actually sound hyperbolic, but let me give you an example. In Ukraine, until the 22nd of February 2022, people even inside the Ukraine, they thought that they were not going to be under armed conflict. Well, it's been more than 2 years from that day, and they were absolutely wrong. And the same indicators that I'm actually teaching you to look for, they existed before, and those were ignored. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share this with everybody that you know, and hopefully we can grow together.